27 wins and 9 losses. That is the Golden State Warriors record ever since they traded for Jimmy Butler in February of this year. And for anyone who questioned if the second half of last season was a fluke, are you guys convinced? Because after starting the season with 2 separate back-to-backs in the first week, after playing multiple playoff teams and 2 of the best players in the world, the Warriors have started 4-1, including a blowout win over a Clippers team that many people thought would be better than this year's Warriors. And for the second straight game, Stephen Curry didn't even score 20 points, and the Warriors still won comfortably. And whilst there's been so much talk about Jonathan Kuminga and how well he's played, Steph Curry, Al Horford, Will Richard, okay, maybe I'm the only one talking about Will Richard, but still, can I remind everyone that Jimmy Butler is still an all-star, and Jimmy Butler can still be the best player on the floor in a game full of all-stars, because we just saw the perfect Jimmy Butler game. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists on 75% from the field to go along with a game-high plus-minus and just 1 turnover. And this is what I loved about this Jimmy Butler game. It wasn't the 20 points, it was the playmaking. Just look at him here, sizing up James Harden. He blows straight past Harden, and with Lopez forced to help over, look at the wraparound pass from Jimmy to Dre for the easiest bucket. Or this time in transition, where again, it's Jimmy's ability to get 2 feet in the paint, drawing the help defense from Kawhi before kicking it to Moody in the corner, spotting up for the 3. And I said this was the perfect Jimmy Butler game. This is just what Jimmy has been doing this entire season. Because so far this season, he's averaging basically 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game on elite efficiency. And the only game he scored under 20 points was that back-to-back against Portland after an overtime game versus Denver. And when you consider what Jonathan Kuminga is doing with his rebounding, his playmaking, and his defense, all of a sudden you have 2 guys next to Steph Curry that can give you nearly 20 points and 5 assists on any given night. 2 guys who can be the leading scorer if Steph Curry only scores 16 points, if Steph Curry is being double teamed like he so often is, and just the versatility and the options the Warriors now have in their starting lineups and on their bench. This is why they've started the season so strongly. And I need to say something. Warriors fans need to stop questioning Steve Kerr for just a second. Let me explain. When Jonathan Kuminga was named the starter for the first game of this season, people questioned the decision. When Brandin Podziemski started against Memphis, people questioned the decision. And when Quentin Post was named the starter against the Clippers, yeah, guess what? People questioned the decision. Every single one of those decisions has been right from Steve Kerr. I'm not going to tell you Steve Kerr is the perfect coach or never makes mistakes, but I've never seen a coach with 4 championships be disrespected so often. And I just said it there, but it was the right decision to start Quentin Post against Ivica Zubac. Because not only did he knock down 4 threes, including a 3 that had Steph Curry shaking his head on the bench, but what has been really impressive from Post this season, which people who just look at the box score haven't realized, is his defense. He's starting to use that size much better. He is looking stronger, he is moving better, and he's even been blocking shots as well. Just look here as he's guarding Zubac all the way at the 3-point line. Harden gets the handoff, and watch Post slide his feet, using his size to absorb the hit from Harden, and he waits just until the right time to block the layup attempt. And it's not just blocking shots either. His positioning, his footwork, his ability to now use his size to deter players has improved massively. Even watch this play where he plays great defense on Collins in the post, forcing him to pass out, and as a result, Draymond is able to get the steal and find Pods for the 2. This is what you want from your big man. He doesn't have to block shots every single play, but if he uses his body to be in the right spot and force players to pass out of the paint, it can lead to turnovers or it can lead to more difficult shots than if they're running all the way to the rim. And I know he struggled his first few games from three-point range, but there is not a single open three that Quentin Post takes that I don't feel comfortable in him making. It is the same for Al Horford, and the Warriors now have two guys who you can trust to defend the opposition bigs, and you can trust to knock down threes from any spots on the floor. Not to mention Post is also improving as a passer in the Dubs system. And while we're talking about Steve Kerr and the Warriors starting lineup, this is what he said after the game. The Warriors will rotate between Brandin Podziemski and Quentin Post, with Jonathan Kuminga, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler as the established starters. I just talked about Quentin Post helping the team win, but we need to talk about Brandin Podziemski, because we saw it happen last year, and we saw it in the first few games of this season. Pods is going to have some performances where he struggles to shoot, and when his shot isn't falling, it can be rough to watch. But if you ignore some of his quotes, and if you are actually fair, instead of calling him the worst player in NBA history, you would actually realize Brandin Podziemski is a good basketball player, because every time he struggles to shoot, his shot always comes back around. He's a great rebounder for his size, a good playmaker, and a smart defender. And if you want to see all of what I'm saying in just one play, just watch here where Chris Paul gets the ball off the steal, and instead of giving up on the play, Pods chases him all the way back, blocking his layup, and that's not it. He then sprints the other way, gets the pass from Moody, and watch him attack before then having the ability to finish up and under Brook Lopez. Brandin Podziemski might never be a superstar like he thinks, and it's okay for him to have confidence in himself. But there are Warriors fans that need to realize he is a good basketball player, and if you have him coming off your bench, this is a very, very good basketball team. And speaking of terrific role players, if there is one player who you know exactly what you are going to get every single time he steps on the floor, it is Moses Moody. He might not have the playmaking of Brandin Podziemski or the athleticism of Jonathan Kuminga, but he has the reliability as a three-point shooter, he has the consistency as a defender, and he's just one of the most steady players you could have off the bench. I mean, first game back against the Grizzlies, 5 3-pointers made, and then another few 3-pointers against the Clippers. Moses Moody is a guy, if he is a starter, you are comfortable. If he is coming off the bench, you are comfortable. He is the ultimate role player for a team that has a lot of ultimate role players. I haven't even mentioned De'Anthony Melton is still to come back. Seth Curry will be signed. Buddy Hield is going to have a hot streak. When you look at Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, depth and defense, it's time to realize the Golden State Warriors are one of the best teams in the NBA. And if you want to hear me continue to talk about the Warriors, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Dropping a like would be cool. Have a great day.